The fires in France and Spain are breaking modern records, charts and maps, from the New York Times. This visual investigation, reported by Josh Holder and Samuel Granados, reveals how the extraordinary growth of a few enormous wildfires in France and Spain over the last 2 weeks has transformed what was already an above-average fire season into a record-breaking one. According to data from the European Forest Fire Information System, 40% more land has already burned in France than in the previous record year documented by the system. That previous record was already a high bar, and this year's surge has shattered it in a matter of days. The fires in Spain are also contributing to unprecedented totals, with massive blazes spreading across multiple regions. The article is categorized under Western Europe wildfires, highlighting the regional scale of the crisis. The Times analysis relies on satellite data compiled by the European Forest Fire Information System, which tracks burned area across the continent. The charts accompanying the article show a sharp increase in cumulative burned area, driven by a handful of megafires rather than a broad increase in the number of ignitions. The maps reveal the geographic concentration of these fires, with perimeters expanding rapidly. A note on the charts indicates the dashed lines represent the latest data, which is often revised upward as more precise satellite assessments become available, suggesting the final numbers could climb even higher. The source is explicitly cited as the European Forest Fire Information System. The extraordinary growth of these fires underscores how quickly conditions can escalate. The article notes that the season was already above average before the last 2 weeks, meaning the baseline was elevated. Then, a few enormous wildfires grew extraordinarily, pushing the total burned area into record territory. This pattern, a few very large fires driving the statistics, is a hallmark of modern fire regimes in Mediterranean Europe. Weather conditions such as prolonged heat waves, low humidity, and strong winds have created the perfect environment for these fires to explode in size, though the article does not attribute the season to a single cause. For communities in the path of these fires, the impact is immediate: evacuations, destroyed homes, and hazardous air quality. For policymakers, the data underscores the urgency of adapting forest management and emergency response to a new reality of more frequent and more severe fire events. The New York Times presents this story with charts and maps to make the scale of the disaster visually clear. This has been a summary of the New York Times reporting on the historic wildfires in France and Spain. Thank you for listening.